Only the top few companies were invited to the national business meeting with the President of Korea. In January of 2011, Woosung got a call from the Blue House. Jang Guangchul asked Woosung, "President Kang, I heard you were invited to the Blue House." "Yes, for the national business meeting." "Wow, our company must be doing very well." The Blue House. "Haha, we are number 2 in the country. For the personal asset category, I rank at the top. I am also within the top 10 in the world. It's not a surprise I was invited to this meeting." Jang Guangchul swallowed and asked, "Will you refuse to attend?" Woosung thought carefully. In 7 years, President Lee Park-sung will be arrested. Should he keep his distance now? Or should he use the president's power a little while longer? Jang Guangchul obviously didn't know the situation, so he suggested, "You should really consider attending. If you don't, you may fall out of favor. What if they do another investigation on our company? Then I will get a different president elected." What? Jang Guangchul couldn't believe his ears. Woosung looked out the window silently. Jang Guangchul continued, Did you see something in your dream? Will something happen to the president?" "It's nothing like that. I'm just saying we are no one's servant." Woosung turned to Jang Guangchul and continued, "Sir, we are now a big company. We are responsible for many employees now. We need to be strong. We can't be affected by the government. No matter which party runs this country, we need to be constant and stable." Jang Guangchul was still curious. So you dreamt something?" "Not yet. I will let you know when it happens." Jang Guangchul sighed deeply. "Gosh, you scared me. I thought something big would go down. So will you attend or not?" "I will go for now, but I won't make any serious acquaintances. From now on, if any government official contacts you for anything unethical or illegal, just refuse." Jang Guangchul nodded. "All right. I will." President Lee Park-sung. He started as the CEO of Ion Construction and became the mayor of Seoul. Afterward, he won the election and became the president of Korea. He said to his son Lee Sung-hyun, "So do you really believe we need Kang Woosung? Is he that great? You have no idea. He may have more money than Bill Gates now, and he is continuing to make more money as we speak. He must be a great businessman. After all, he is the founder of KND and Coconut. And X-Feed. He also took over Daenom Construction and a semiconductor company." Lee Sung-hyun frowned. "I am beginning to get worried. It feels like I'm starting to lose my control over him." Lee Park-sung frowned as well. It can't be easy to run so many companies. When you are involved in so many big businesses like that, you can't help but be involved in illegal activities. Kang Woosung told me that he makes his major business decisions based on data analysis. He was able to predict the North Korean incident a while back. That was really amazing. When he comes for the meeting in the Blue House, watch him carefully. We need to learn what his weaknesses are. It will help us. Help you to become the next president? Lee Sung-hyun grinned. Father and son both becoming presidents. Wouldn't that be amazing? Lee Park-sung laughed proudly and replied, "By the way, we have another weapon that can help you regain control." Lee Sung-hyun thought carefully. Prosecutors. Korean Revenue Agency. NIS. What else? Oh. You mean the FTC, Korea Fair Trade Commission? That's right. This agency is one the businessmen fear the most. But we need to be careful or else it might backfire. KND has a lot of influences. If we do something, and Kang Woosung plays the media and public against us, it could be bad. Besides, if we start any investigations, we will have to do it on all the companies, and we both know Daeyoung, TK, and Ion are all involved in illegal activities. Lee Park-sung smiled. What we can do is to use the media in our advantage. We can get them to report a false rumor about KND. And then, we act like we are forced to do an investigation. Exactly. Let's see how he does at the meeting and we will decide. Lee Sung-hyun bowed. Late night. Woosung sat in front of the computer and thought out loud. I am collecting bitcoins at a much faster rate than expected. At this rate, I should have 10 million of them by next year. The ASIC developed by Woo Jiren was better than he could imagine. Almost half of all the available bitcoins in the world are mine. Woosung now owned over a third of all the bitcoins in the world. Once I have 10 million of them, I will make the price go up, and when it hits the highest price. Woosung grinned. He planned on making the price go as high up as possible. In his previous life, it peaked at $20,000, but perhaps he could even get it to reach $50,000 this time. And why wait till 2017? Woosung owned a cryptocurrency dealership equipped to deal with any kind of cryptocurrencies including Ethereum and Ripple. In his previous life, the cryptocurrency prices peaked in 2017, but this time, he didn't have to wait till 2017. I will collect Ethereum and Ripple, and then get Choi Gichul to get interested in them. Daeyoung. Woosung had to destroy Daeyoung. Everything he did was to achieve this goal. Blue House Business Meeting. Most businessmen were in their 50s and 60s. Among them, one young man stood out. He was in his 20s. He was wearing a clean suit but nothing fancy. His watch and shoes were all clean but nothing expensive. Yet among all the men in their luxurious outfits, this young man stood out the most. The meeting was aired live on TV. When it was Woosung's turn to shake hands with the president, all the cameras zoomed in. Make sure to get a good shot of Kang Woosung. Lee Park-sung greeted Woosung. Nice to meet you. I'm Lee Park-sung. Congratulations on your successful launch of Xfeed. Thank you. It's all thanks to you, President. I didn't do anything. It's all because of your hard work. Thank you. They shook hands for 30 seconds with bright smiles for the cameras. Afterwards, the president shook hands with the rest of the businessmen. Among them was Choi Tae-min. Woosung and Choi Tae-min's eyes locked. Woosung grinned. Choi Tae-min smiled politely, but it didn't reach his eyes. When Woosung's expression turned mocking, Choi Tae-min's face became rigid. However, they were in a public place. Choi Tae-min couldn't show his anger. Woosung approached him and shook his hand. Long time no see, Vice President Choi. Choi Tae-min could barely hide his hatred. Long time no see. I'm sorry to hear about the chairman and your younger brother. I don't know what to say. Woosung studied Choi Tae-min's face carefully. Choir Tae-min's brows were flinching. He was also sweating. Woosung thought. TK chairman knows something. Choi Gichul's reaction to my call was also strange. Woosung added quickly, I used to have conversations with Choi Jitai often. I am sad to hear what has happened to him. Woosung paused and glared at Choi Tae-min. He continued, Choi Jitai used to tell me he is afraid. He said he felt like someone was out to get him, and this happened. Did he say anything to you by any chance? Choi Tae-min replied bluntly, you are very interested in my family business. I was just worried because we were close. Suddenly, a waiter came by to lead them to the next room. Woosung followed him while Choi Tae-min gritted his teeth. The CEO of Ayan, the biggest auto company in the country, Young Manho, TK's Jun Young-hee, Daeng's Choi Tae-min, MG Group's Gu Banho. The biggest names of Korea were gathered in one place. President Kang recently purchased Home Mart and TK's 10th Avenue, which means KND may soon rule both the online and offline markets. President Park, you need to watch out for this young man. Chairman Park Hee-jun. He was the owner of Shinro Group, which was known for its Shin marks. Park Hee-jun turned to Woosung and joked, please be kind to me. I am the one learning about this business, so I hope to learn from you, sir. Park Hee-jun laughed and asked, I heard a rumor that you are using the same IT technique as Amazon to reduce the price point. Is this true? Daeng's rival MG Electronics CEO Gu Banho added, I also heard you will be incorporating the coconut pay to make it even more convenient for the customers. Is your plan going well? These were all business secrets, but they were already well known to everyone. There was no way to protect the confidentiality of these strategies. Woosung replied, I'm working as hard as I can. Ayan Auto's Young Manho joked, if you are going to get involved in the auto business too, please let me know in advance so I can prepare myself. TK's Jun Young-hee laughed loudly, ha ha ha. If President Kang was that nice, I wouldn't have gotten into this frequency auction mess. Young Manho narrowed his eyes and nodded. I suppose. I just hope you didn't already start developing the self-driving cars. He looked at Woosung for any reactions, but Woosung replied neutrally, I am considering it. As you know, I recently purchased a large portion of SpaceX. I am also looking into investing in Tesla. Young Manho swallowed nervously. Park Hee-jun asked, are you working with Amazon too? Woosung replied lightly, gentlemen, you can't ask me these top-secret questions. TK's Young Young-hee said to everyone, this young man is someone we should all fear. He just got into the mobile carrier business and he already owns 20% of the market. He also took over a few of TK's businesses. Young Young-hee looked around and added, if you don't want to be eaten by this guy, you better watch out. I'm guessing MG Electronics was also affected by Kang Woosung, right? MG's Gu Banho replied, very much so. At least MG's main business is appliances, so it wasn't as bad for us as Daeyoung. Everyone looked at Choi Taemin, who replied quietly, we are okay for now. Daeyoung's foundation is very strong. Woosung quickly added, then us in KND need to work harder. We are working on adding Coconut Eye into Blue S3. The customers will go crazy for it. I'll do my best to win against Daeyoung. Young Young-hee joked, wow, you're scary. Woosung continued quickly, and with Daenam Construction, we will be building smart homes. All of my companies, KND, Coconut, and Daenam, will help each other. Everyone quieted. All the CEOs showed respect. They knew everything Woosung said and planned would affect them. Lee Park-sung looked around the room. I know better than anyone how hard it is to run a business. Lee Park-sung was the CEO of Ayan 20 years ago. Young Manho added, but it has gotten easier for all of us thanks to you, President Lee. I'm glad to hear that. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to come to me. Thank you. Anne. When the president hesitated, Jun Young-hee encouraged him, please, President, feel free to tell us anything you need. Lee Park-sung nodded and continued, recently, we have noted that the economy has been deteriorating. The employment rate has been declining. He was asking for the CEOs to increase employment opportunities. Everyone nodded. Young Manho answered quickly, we will try our best. Others added. Why don't I start the next quarter's employment plan now? I will order to increase the number of job openings by at least 10%. It was a joke. Everyone jumped at the president's words. Lee Park-sung smiled and replied, I am so lucky to have all of you. I am especially thankful to President Kang, who achieved the decreasing of the mobile phone fee for the public. Woosung answered quickly, not at all, President. Lee Park-sung quickly glanced at Young Manho and added, the only thing is, President Kang, you need to stop expanding so fast. It is causing everyone problems. You need to focus on one area. Please take this advice. Woosung knew what he was trying to say. He replied quickly, I will consider it. Young Manho grinned, but the other CEOs looked unhappy. And I heard that you are interested in developing the Yongsan project? When Woosung nodded, Choi Taemin frowned. At present, Daeyang Construction owned a large portion of the Yongsan project. What does Daeyang's Vice President Choi think? Daeyang can do this project. Don't you think switching to a different company will be too risky? Lee Park-sung said firmly, Daeyang is great at developing new technologies, so perhaps you should focus on that. It would be too much for you to get involved in the constructions too. Besides, the project hasn't been going well anyway. Choi Tae-min sighed lightly. I will think about it. This is for the good of the country. Everyone needs to make small sacrifices for the better future. After the meeting, Choi Tae-min remained. He was ushered into a reception room where Lee Sung-hyun was waiting. Sorry for such a short notice, but I needed to talk to you quickly. Lee Sung-hyun was the second son of the president. Choi Tae-min couldn't refuse such a request. He replied, what is so important that you needed to see me right away? I think you probably have been having an issue because of Kang Woosung, right? Choi Tae-min bit his lips and nodded. Lee Sung-hyun continued, that is why I contacted you. Is this about Yongsan project? I already told the president I will think about it. Lee Sung-hyun laughed, not that. It's something else. I have heard that you are concerned about Kang Woosung and his companies KND, Coconut, and X-Feed. The prosecutors and the revenue agency couldn't find anything wrong with his companies. I heard NIS also tried, but nothing. Choi Tae-min remained silent. Lee Sung-hyun continued, the government is also worried about Kang Woosung's expansion rate. The problem is we can't find anything on him at all. So we are thinking of getting the FTC involved, but it can be a bit tricky as you can imagine. Choi Tae-min flinched. Lee Sung-hyun took a sip of his tea and continued. We need help from the media, but the government can't do that. We have no control over the media, and it just won't look right. I think the show's 60 Minutes or The Watchdog should air an investigative episode on Kang Woosung's business expansion. I thought the government was on Kang Woosung's side. We are on nobody's side. As you know, the government should always remain objective. Choi Tae-min nodded. The next day. Promises made during the CEO's business meeting were quickly reported on the news. Ion Auto plans to hire 10% more workers than last year. MG Group increases R&D budget by $2 billion. Daeyang Group plans to increase their employment opportunities by 20%. Jang Guangchul asked Woosung, shouldn't we announce something too? Like how many people we will hire? Release a number that is bigger than Daeyang. R&D budget should be about $10 billion if we combine all of our companies. It should be more than Ion, MG, and TK combined. Woosung thought for a second and continued, the headline of the news article should be this, KND to have bigger budget and employment number than all three other big companies combined. Good one. If we get into the auto business, we will be on the top of the food chain. Auto? Yeah. I was thinking about Sanyong Auto, but the workers' union in that company is too strong. They go on strike all the time if they don't get what they want. Isn't Sanyong the one that got its technology stolen by China? That's right. There was a rumor that President Lee Park-sung was involved in it. What? Really? A rumor, but with no basis. Did you learn this from your dream? No. Anyway, if we take over Sanyong and work with Tesla to create electric cars, it would be incredible. And that's not the end. Jang Guangchul knew what Woosung was thinking. We will use Coconut Eye to develop a self-driving car. Woosung nodded. It will, of course, be difficult to release anytime soon, but just the fact that we are planning on it will be a great promo for our company. Jang Guangchul nodded in agreement. Woosung continued, we could become bigger than Ion Auto. All right. I will look into it. It shouldn't be hard. Sanyong just filed bankruptcy recently, so they will be happy to get rid of it. I would say $500 million is a fair price. President Kang Woosung takes over Sungyong Auto for $500 million. He plans to turn it into an electric car specialty company. All Sungyong employees who were let go to be rehired. The media went wild over the news. In just a year, Woosung bought 4 companies. Daenom Constructions, TK Communication, ANIX, and Sungyong Auto. Finally, the show, 60 Minutes, released the preview of a special episode. President Kang Woosung. The truth about his success. It was a provocative title. The producers were given a strict order of keeping the content a secret, but Woosung still managed to unravel the content of this episode. However, Woosung didn't stop it from being aired. When the preview was released, the internet went wild. Still, Woosung didn't do anything about it. The government, however, saw this as an opportunity. The FTC announced that it will be investigating KND. KND headquarters was hectic. Jang Guangchul asked worriedly, the tax audit, prosecutors, and now this? This isn't fair. 3 investigations in a year are not normal. Well, we did grow faster than any other companies in history. I know, but still. They're obviously intimidated, especially since I have been spending a lot of time with Lee Myung-jin. Gosh, it's so hard to run a business in Korea. Then should we finally move to America? Move the headquarters to America. US would welcome us with open arms. Jang Guangchul raised his voice worriedly, but that would make us a traitor in Korea. Are you okay with that? Why? We will move because we are being treated unfairly. We have a good reason. The public will understand. Besides, our company isn't dependent on the Korean market. We can afford to lose it if necessary. Jang Guangchul swallowed and replied, you are serious about this. This is the only way the government will realize how angry we are. With the recent purchase of Sungyong, our company is the center of the Korean economy. If we move, it will be a huge deal. Who do you think the media and the public will side with on this battle? Us, or our corrupt government? Jang Guangchul didn't say anything. It sounded like Woosung was right. He ordered the PR department to announce the news. 11 p.m. Woosung invited Lee Sung-hyun for a quick meeting. Lee Sung-hyun complained, such a short notice. Where are your manners? You will lose all your friends if you continue to act like this. That's okay. I'm making lots of money, which is more important. What? And from now on, please show a little more respect. I think I deserve it now. Behind Woosung were bodyguards who were all clad with bulging muscles. They all looked at Lee Sung-hyun sternly. Lee Sung-hyun looked away nervously. Woosung asked, so you have used the revenue agency, prosecutors, and now FTC to find dirt on me. Did you really think I wouldn't know you're behind all this? Lee Sung-hyun just stared at him, dumbfounded. Woosung continued, I am as big as Daeyoung now. Probably not as politically influential, but I still have very good sources for information. Oh, I think you misunderstood. I know exactly who was behind the 60 Minutes episode. Lee Sung-hyun suddenly felt thirsty. He was shocked and speechless. Woosung continued, so how can I trust you and work with you? I have been patient but this has gone far enough. So you will really move your headquarters to US? Probably. The American government is very interested. By the way, did you see the recent research poll? The public is on my side. Lee Sung-hyun stuttered, see, come on. You are scaring me. I did all I can. If the government continues to treat me this way, there is nothing more I can do. I will have to go somewhere else. President Kang. The official announcement will be made tomorrow. The public will criticize the government harshly. As you know, losing me means Korea will lose brands like Coconut Talk, Blue S, Space Research, and Coconut Eye. You will also lose the benefit of reduced mobility fee. It will all be because of you and your father. Lee Sung-hyun had to stop this. If he didn't, the Korean economy would be in huge trouble. KND's sales reached $150 billion. Its profit was at $18 billion. These numbers were slightly less than Daejeon but very close. Daejeon and KND composed 30% of Korean GDP. Daejeon, however, was declining fast, which meant that very soon, KND would be on the top. If KND left Korea, Lee Sung-hyun begged, President Kang, you are being irrational. We need to talk this out. We already talked more than enough. The government is busy trying to find my weaknesses. If you did find something on me, you wouldn't be nice to me like this. I would have been arrested by now. Lee Sung-hyun bit his lips. Woosung was bang on. Lee Sung-hyun quickly lied, no way. That would have never happened. I would never let it happen. I know you. Lee Sung-hyun started to pant. He was starting to feel upset. He had to change his tactic. Lee Sung-hyun was the second son of the president. He was destined to be the next president of Korea. He replied, so you think you can win this game? If we do a more thorough investigation, you will feel differently. Do you think I'm an idiot? I know the investigation has already started full force, and I know you will find nothing. Lee Sung-hyun murmured. Bastard. Tomorrow, I will announce that my company will leave Korea. Let's see who wins. Press conference in a hotel in Seoul. Woosung stood in front of the platoon of cameras surrounding him. The owner of so many companies including KND, Coconut, ANIX, and Sungyeong Auto. If he left Korea, tens of thousands of people could lose their jobs. I am here not as a businessman but as a Korean who hopes this country will improve its ways. In less than 2 years, I have been harassed by government agencies thrice. It was insinuated that I was involved in illegal and unethical activities. Woosung took a sip of water and continued, but nothing was found. The FTC investigation hasn't finished yet. Where did you get so much funds for your business? Billions of dollars. It's impossible to make that much money so quickly unless you did something illegal. The reporters shouted out questions, but Woosung ignored them and continued, it's true that I started out as a humble salaryman, but you can't use that against me. I have run my companies with transparent policies. I have done nothing wrong. I wanted to prove that the Korean dream exists and that it is possible for anyone to succeed in this country. I worked and worked to get where I am right now. I started from the very bottom, and I have accomplished so much. However, it appears that there are many people who don't approve of my success. Woosung said emotionally. The announcement was being aired live and the internet went crazy. All he did was work hard, yet here is what Korea does to an honest working man. Obviously, the rich don't want an average Joe to join their ranks. The government is so corrupt. Yes. Go to America. He did so much for the country, yet this is how he gets treated. Woosung continued slowly, I thought about this day and night. What should I do? I just started the AI technology, and I am about to launch the space research project. I am also considering the electric car business, yet here I am being harassed by the government when I should be focusing on my work. Therefore, I have decided. My headquarters will be moved to Silicon Valley where I will be treated fairly. Woosung sent an email to every employee. It was straightforward. If any of the employees wanted to immigrate to America, the company would help as much as possible. If not, they could still remain and work in Korea. This was more of a legal move and the company only required a few employees in US. Woosung, Jang Guangchul, and Hong Subum's phones rang non-stop. Hong Subum asked, are you sure about this? Yes. Coconut is already listed in NASDAQ so I think it makes sense. I have the company lawyers working on the details and it seems like everything should work out smoothly. Jang Guangchul asked, are you going to list KND on NASDAQ as well? Woosung nodded. Yes. I think KND will be appreciated more in US. What are you thinking? Are you really going to do this? You can stop now. The government got the message. It's not enough. Then what? We need to find out why things like this keep happening. Don't you agree? Jang Guangchul glanced at Hong Soo-bum. When Hong Soo-bum left the room, Jang Guangchul asked, I asked the assistants from Daeyang and they refused to tell me. They said if certain things became public, they could end up in jail. Choi Taemin only ordered them to do things. If they get good lawyers, they should be fine. But they are still worried. Then promise them to give the entirety of Daeyang. They will have full control over it. You will give them the chairman position. Yes. They deserve it. Gosh. I want to destroy the current Daeyang. This is our chance. Daeyang Electronics especially needs to be stopped. Their smartphone department is doing poorly, but their semiconductor sector is still doing great. You are worried? Yes. We will grow ANX as best as we can, but Daeyang Semiconductor is the best in the world. We need to destroy it. Alright. I will try to convince them. I already have the media ready. We just need something big on Daeyang. Jang Guangchul nodded gravely. Woosung met with Lee Myunjin. Lee Myunjin asked, so this is all Daeyang's doing? Yes. I have documented proofs. They have been trying to get rid of me. And you are letting me know about this because Daeyang probably has the prosecutors and the government on its side? That's right. If I submit my proofs to the government, they might just disappear. We need to clean out the government. Lee Myunjin closed his eyes. If this was true, it was a huge deal. He, as a high-ranking government official, could process these proofs fairly and get them available to the public. He replied, my party may object, but I will take care of it. I will try to protect you as much as possible too. Thank you. So when do you think I should do it? Soon, some of the main personnel from Daeyang will be making some big announcements in a few days or so. That will be your chance. Woosung handed him a folder filled with reports. It was packed with the details of corrupt activities in Daeyang. Jang Hyunho and Chun Jisoo provided all these information provided. Will the truth about the 60 Minutes episode be revealed? A small article appeared on the internet. It wasn't read by many until Woosung tagged it on his SNS. He tagged it with various hashtags. Hashtag truth, hashtag fact check, hashtag Daeyang, hashtag government, hashtag FTC, hashtag prosecutors, hashtag revenue agency, hashtag unfair treatment, hashtag rich people, hashtag KND, hashtag coconut. Woosung had huge followings, so the number of article views increased as well as the relevant comments. Is this all Daeyang's doing? So FTC was pushed by Daeyang to do this investigation. We need to find out the truth. If this article is true, this is serious stuff. Can't trust our government. I support KND moving its headquarters. Many were still skeptical of the article, but most supported Woosung. The article was about how Daeyang was behind all the unfair investigations on KND. When the public began to protest, the producers and the broadcasting station of 60 Minutes finally admitted the truth. It's true. The episode on KND was created due to the pressure from the top. The broadcasting station and the producers were promised incentives and ad opportunities from Daeyang. Daeyang quickly released an official follow-up statement denying everything. We have never done such a thing. We are unaware of this deal with the producers and the station. We will be filing a lawsuit for defamation of character. Legal actions are underway. Truth will be revealed. Daeyang hired the best law firm in the country, Joseon, to sue the broadcasting station and the producers. Woosung announced quickly following this news. KND will pay for the lawyers to defend those from the broadcasting station. Things were going according to Woosung's plan. Good versus evil. The public now saw Daeyang as the evil against Woosung, who was the heroic good. While the lawsuit was taking place, a report consisting of 20 pages was released. Corruption in Daeyang. It was a detailed list of bribery Daeyang gave to different agencies, government officials, and the media. The list went on and on. It was sensational news that shook the country. This gave courage for those who were suppressed by Daeyang to surface. Daeyang frequently abuses small companies. Late payments for the materials and pressuring to lower unit prices. Daeyang interfered with the labor union formation. Choi Tae-min screamed. Who the hell released this information? We believe Chun Jisoo and Jang Hyunho did it. Bastards. Choi Tae-min felt dizzy from anger. He sat down. His secretary continued, they are nowhere to be found. We have our security department searching for them right now. Choi Tae-min gritted his teeth. He yelled, find them. Use everything we have to find them. Get the police and the NIS involved if necessary. Why, yes, sir. You don't even have to bring them alive. Kill them. Make it look like a suicide. Understand? Why, yes. The secretary answered nervously. A private room in a Seoul restaurant. Woosung asked Chun Jisoo and Jang Hyunho, are you guys ready? Both hesitated. Woosung continued, I will have the best bodyguards to protect you. You will also be provided with the best lawyers in the country. I am ready to spend unlimited funds to protect you. What you do for me will be worth it. Are you sure we will be safe? Woosung nodded and replied, yes, and I always keep my promises. I know what Choi Tae-min is like. I know how he treated you and what he is capable of, yet are you still loyal to him? What do you think would have happened in 2 years if you haven't left Daeyang? I thought you left because you knew. Daeyang was about to dissolve anyway. If you remained in that company and something happened to Daeyang, who do you think Choi Tae-min would blame? You too would have ended up in jail instead of him. This seemed to convince them. Jang Hyunho sighed deeply and asked, what about our families? My security team is on it already. Nothing will happen to you or your families. If you want, I will arrange for new secret houses your family can use. I can move your families to America too. Your children will be sent to the best schools there. Jang Hyunho nodded. All right. Let's do this. Woosung turned to Chun Jisoo. What do you think? Chun Jisoo bit his lips. He was confused. He didn't know what to do. Woosung asked, do you really think Chairman Choi Gun-won's stroke was by a natural cause? Chun Jisoo gulped down cold water. He knew that it was Choi Tae-min's doing. His own father. Woosung continued, if he could do that to his father, do you think it will be hard for him to do it to you guys? Chun Jisoo finally answered, I'm ready. Woosung smiled. The staff started to prepare the room. A camera was placed within the room as well. Hello. My name is Chun Jisoo, and I used to work as a high-ranking official in Daeyang. I worked for this company for many years, but I could no longer allow myself to be involved in such atrocious activities. Chun Jisoo took a sip of water and continued, the documents recently released are all true. These corrupt actions were directly ordered by the previous chairman and the current vice president. I felt guilty and horrible. He paused for a breath. So I decided to give myself up. I wanted the truth to come out. I will provide further details to the prosecutors. The next video released revealed Jang Hyunho, which had similar content. Hello. My name is Jang Hyunho, and I used to work at Daeyang for many years. While I worked there, I have learned some horrible things about this company. Anytime there was a problem, Daeyang always used money to make it go away. I was always in fear of my life. I finally decided that enough was enough, and that is why I am standing in front of you now. Jang Hyunho's video went on for a few more minutes. The number of views of these two videos went up quickly. 10k. 210k. 1m. 10m. 100m. On February 7, the two men voluntarily visited the prosecutors. Daeng stock prices declined to its 52-week lowest. Choi Tae-min screamed, "What the hell?" His secretary flinched. Choi Tae-min continued, "I can't believe the bastards made those stupid videos. Fix it now. You are such an idiot." Choi Tae-min was getting even more abusive. The secretary has been working for him for many years, but he still had a hard time enduring it. "I apologize." Choi Tae-min panted in anger. The secretary continued quickly, "We need to come up with a solution fast. Our connections in the government can't deal with this." "Why not? We paid a lot of money to them so they can take care of things like this. The Liberal Party may stay quiet, but the Conservatives probably will make a lot of noise about this. This could turn ugly." Choi Tae-min gritted his teeth. "Did you get in contact with Lee Myung-jin's people?" "We are trying, but they won't respond." "Do we know any of his weaknesses, so we can use them against him?" "We tried, but we couldn't find any dirt on him." "What? How is that possible? He is a rare case. Most politicians are corrupt, but it appears he is clean." "Then are you suggesting that we just don't do anything?" "The best we can do is hire more lawyers and hope we win the case. We can argue that those weren't bribes but donations and sponsorship. You won't be involved at all no matter what. The plan was to frame someone else in the company if necessary." "Fine. Contact all the lawyers. Hire as many as possible." "Yes, sir." Woosung met with Hong Min-wook from Wayung Law Firm. Hong Min-wook explained, "Other than Joseon, we were able to get most of the other law firms on our side. We also got cooperation from retired lawyers, prosecutors, and judges who used to have prominent positions, but Joseon. You will have to meet with the current owner to make it happen." "So Joseon won't help us?" "They have a long-standing relationship with Dae-young, so they are very hesitant." Hong Min-wook lowered his voice and murmured, "They will need a very solid reason to change side. Can we do it without Joseon?" Wayung is a fast-growing law firm, but Joseon is still number one in this field. There are many big names there. We could still win without them, but if we get Joseon, we will have an 80% chance of winning." Woosung frowned. Hong Min-wook continued, "If we get Joseon on our side, Dae-young will have difficulty hiring lawyers, which will be in our advantage." "All right. I will meet with him." "Good. He is waiting in the other room." When Woosung nodded, Hong Min-wook left the room. Within a few seconds, a man walked in. It was Go Kyung-suk, the CEO of Joseon Law Firm. Go Kyung-suk was in his late 50s. He had gray hair but no wrinkles. He asked, "So you want to hire our lawyers?" "Yes, as many as possible." "That would cost you a lot of money." Money is not an issue. KND is the richest company in the country. You can't buy justice with money. Then can I buy victory with money?" Go Kyung-suk laughed, "Ha ha ha." Woosung continued, "I don't want to buy justice. I want to win." Go Kyung-suk's eyes sparkled. He stared at Woosung and said, "I got a call from Dae-young as well. I already know Joseon has been representing Dae-young for a long time." "Then why did you contact us?" "As my companies got bigger, I need more legal help. Wayung alone is not enough anymore. I wanted the best law firm in the country." Ha ha ha. "As you know, KND is bigger and better than Dae-young now. I think it's a good reason for you to change side. You can't last long in this field without loyalty. But you were loyal to the previous chairman. Do you still feel the same way about the current Vice President Choi Tae-min?" Go Kyung-suk rubbed his chin and answered, "Wow, you talk like a lawyer. Very convincing. If you felt loyal to Choi Taemin, you wouldn't have come here for this meeting. Go Gyung-suk flinched. Woosung continued quickly, I realize that it may take a long time to distance yourself from Dae-young. I am okay with you representing both Dae-young and us to start. I will pay 1.5 times your normal fee. I will also pay incentives to the lawyers who represent us. Go Gyung-suk sighed, this may cost you tens of millions of dollars. Will that be fine with you? If you come to represent us, that would be a small price to pay. Ha ha ha. Woosung could feel that the negotiation was going well. He offered his final deal, if you say yes right now, I will double my offer. When Go Gyung-suk swallowed and stared, Woosung added, but you need to decide right now. As you know, Dae-young will down either way. What will you do? KND hires over 100 lawyers. The long legal battle begins against the government and Dae-young. The public supports KND. Dae-young's stock price declines. The won sales drop significantly. Woosung's plan was working. Woosung called Alex in US. Nikkei index will drop. You know what to do, right? Alex answered in excitement, of course. Go full in this time. Use every available cash we have. I assume it will be huge. Yup. March 12, 2011. A tsunami will occur in Sendai, Japan. Towns will be wiped and the Fukushima nuclear power plant will be affected. It will cost the Japanese government over $300 billion. After the call, Woosung called in the Red Angles team leader Ban Ji-won. You will have to go to Japan. Yes, sir. I realize Korea doesn't have a warm relationship with Japan, but these are innocent lives. Please save as many as possible, but I don't want you to take unnecessary risks. I don't want any of our people getting hurt. I understand. You will have to be extra careful. The nuclear power plant may explode. Ban Ji-won's smile disappeared. Nuclear power plant? Yes. Please avoid that area at all cost, focus on the suburban areas. All right. After the meeting, Woosung checked the Nikkei index. It was reaching 10,700 now. In a few days, it will go below 10,000. He will make billions of dollars again. Hello. I am reporter Kim Jae-man from SBC. I am standing here at the Gwanghwamun Park where a protest is underway against the alleged corruption in the government. Tens of thousands of people have gathered here to make their voices heard. They are demanding a transparent investigation on the involved government officials who were accused of receiving bribes from Dae-young. The reporter approached one of the protesters and asked, "Why did you attend this event?" I couldn't take the fact that our government is working for Dae-young rather than the people of Korea. Do you believe the released documents then? Of course. Why wouldn't I? Some believes that only part of the report is true. That is most likely a rumor created by the government as a cover-up. Another protester who was walking by yelled, SBC is funded by Dae-young too. It's Dae-young's slave. Go away. Media can't be trusted. Get out. The cameraman and the reporter started to be swarmed by angry protesters. The camera got turned off quickly and the screen changed to the news anchor. It appears we have some technical difficulties. We will go on to the next news report. The online forums went crazy. SBC needs to be investigated too. I will never watch SBC again. Broadcasting stations work for Dae-young. Don't trust it. Woosung's office. Woosung turned off the TV. This is getting bigger by the minute. The public is demanding the government to get rid of 1/3 of the members. Woosung grinned. This is great for us. I'm worried this is getting out of hand. I heard there are tens of thousands of protesters out in the public. I hope no one gets hurt. Woosung just smiled. There will be much bigger protests in the future and no one would get hurt. He wasn't worried. Jiang Guangchul continued, there is even a rumor that if it gets any bigger, the government may declare martial law. Woosung's eyes widened. Martial law. Woosung has seen it happen in the future, but he couldn't see it being used at this point. I don't think that will happen. But what if hundreds of thousands of people gather? The government may have to get the military to control the situation. We need to make sure that doesn't happen. How? U.S. Jiang Guangchul's eyes widened. Woosung continued. I have connections in U.S. If you looked at my phone contact list, you would be shocked and impressed. Really? I have been offered a U.S. citizenship as well. I see. I can't order around the U.S. government obviously, but they will help me to some extent if I asked. I have enough financial power. What we need to focus on is taking over Daeyang. Its stock price is continuing to decline and the public is giving it a cold shoulder. The won sales are going down too. This is our chance. So we will go for it with an unlimited budget again. Woosung nodded. Yes. It's okay because I am expecting a huge opportunity soon. I am thinking I will make at least $1 billion. Maybe even 2 billion. Jiang Guangchul swallowed and asked, see, could I invest too? You made billions of dollars so far, yet you want more. You can never have too much money. This time, it will involve a disaster. I will be making money off from other people's misery. I don't want you to be a part of it. Jiang Guangchul's voice lowered. Something big would happen. So it will be huge again. You will be shocked. Many people will get hurt and many could die. Today is March 1st, so it will happen soon. Well, then I will focus on the Daeyang situation. As a matter of fact, I got a call from a group of Daeyang's primary partnering companies. There are about 190 or so of them, right? 195 to be exact. We need many of those companies to support NIX, so I will try to get at least 50% of them on our side. Do your best. Lee Park-sung said to his son Lee Sung-hyun. The situation is getting worse. The investigation on Daeyang and the relevant government officials could affect us too. I will, of course, try my best not to get you involved, but some people close to you may end up in jail. We still don't know who is behind all this, so get ready. Lee Sung-hyun sighed, I think it might be Kang Woosung, don't you agree? President Kang. Yes. He hates Daeyang. He told me about it before. I see. He is too big for me to control now. It has been estimated his company will make up 20% of Korean GDP. He is the king of the business world now. Then, if we take care of him, this situation will be resolved. Probably, but it won't be easy. He has become arrogant. Bastard. We have no choice. Whoever has the most money has the power. The public loves him too. Lee Park-sung murmured, I think I need to meet with him again. If the conversation goes well, it would be great, but it could get worse. You have already played the bad cop, so what do you think you can do? I can play the good cop this time. I can make good offers on Yongsan project, self-driving cars, tax deductions, whatever he wants. I'm not sure if it will work. As you said, money can make anything happen. Why would he refuse these financial benefits? Because, he will still make a lot of money even without your offer. I am not sure if he will find your proposal attractive. Then, they both became quiet. There seemed to be no solution to this. Tokyo. Fukushima nuclear plant monitoring agent made an emergency call. We need to evacuate everyone and close down this plant right now. However, his superior refused the call. He was asked to continue monitoring and be ready. If they close the plant, they will lose hundreds of millions of dollars. Suddenly, the internal CCTV started to shake. The alarms went off loudly. Everything turned red. Emergency! Emergency! All the monitors went wild. The monitoring agents paled. The core was starting to melt. This meant there could be a leak to the outside. The CCTV cameras turned dark. One agent quickly turned on the TV. A piece of breaking news was being reported. Breaking news, Fukushima nuclear power plant explosion. Breaking news, nuclear radiation damage expected. Breaking news, 30 kilometers radius evacuation ordered. The next day, the Nikkei index dropped by 10%. Alex exclaimed with excitement. Alex followed Woosung's order and the profit they made was incredible. Alex called Woosung in excitement, "Boss, it's done. Do you know how much we made this time?" Woosung replied evenly, "About $15 billion. Hahaha, $18.5 billion actually. Wow, really? $3 billion more. Liam helped me this time. He is good. It must be his experience at the hedge fund. I was going to sell a little earlier, but he encouraged me to wait a little longer and that's how we made an extra $3 billion. So Liam did great. Yup. He deserves a bonus. Alright. I will think about it. Good. Now, should I put the money into stocks and real estates again? Amazon and Apple. Real estates in New York, please. Keep 50% of it in cash. So we will have total cash of $14 billion. I have something I need to buy and it will be expensive. It will cost $14 billion. Haha, possibly more. The news of Fukushima shocked Korea. Travel to Japan banned for now. Any imports from Japan to be closely examined. Slowly, the news about Daejeon disappeared and replaced by the tragedy in Japan. The government announced its focus on the safety of Korean nuclear plants. Woosung murmured in frustration, "It's so obvious that they want to bury the Daejeon situation." Jang Guangchul replied, "The public gets tired of the same news anyway. By the way, is the Japan situation what you dreamt about?" "Something like it. I saw explosions, people in despair, and so on. And that is why you sent the Red Angels." Many TV channels covered a live stream of Red Angels saving people. On the uniforms of these rescue agents were KND logos. The photos of the rescues reached the world and had a great marketing effect. Woosung nodded and replied, "Yes, and that's why I had them ready for it. I hope they all return safely." "So how much did you actually make?" Woosung answered honestly, "Over $10 billion. Jang Guangchul gaped in shock. 10 billion. Did you say 10 billion? Huh, why are you so shocked? This isn't the first time we made this much money. Jang Guangchul jumped. So much money. Just how rich are you planning to be? Woosung grinned and joked, maybe trillion. Trillion. Huh, at this rate, don't you think it's possible? Bill Gates is worth $100 billion, so you think you will have 10 times more than him? Yup. So you just focus on taking over Daejeon and don't worry about the money. Woosung took a deep breath and continued, shift and focus to Japan is a good chance for us. I don't think we can take down Daejeon completely right now. We just have to do as much damage as possible. Jang Guangchul nodded firmly. 11 p.m. Woosung visited his Bitmain office. It was time to entice Choi Gichul into getting involved in this business. Woosung collected enough bitcoins to control the cryptocurrency market and Daejeon was failing. Woosung was ready. When he entered the office, Young Jin Sup was alone, working late into the night. Woosung grinned. This reminded of the hard time he had while working at Bitmain in his previous life. He used to go home past midnight. Woosung wanted Young Jin Sup to experience the same agony. No personal life. Only work for a meager wage. He approached Young Jin Sup and asked, "Sir, you are still working?" Young Jin Sup turned around. His skin was rough and his lips were cracking. His eyes were half closed from fatigue. I will, but I have a lot of work left to do. We have so many users now. But it's past 11 p.m. now. You are working too hard. It's my job. Finish it tomorrow. Let's go for a drink. I have something to tell you. Drink? Young Jinsup's eyes widened. Yes. I was able to talk to my mentor recently and I want to tell you something. Really? Yes. My mentor knows your hard work as well. Oh, and you are friends with Daeng's Choi Gichul, right? Do you still talk to him? I do, but not often because of my situation. Why don't you call him right now? The three of us can go for a drink. I have something I want to tell Choi Gichul about Daeyoung too. It might be better for you to call. As you know, things between Choi Gichul and I are a bit strained due to the recent development. If you arrange this, I will owe you. Young Jin-sup nodded reluctantly. Alright. I will try calling him. Then let's go. I want to go, but... Could you let your friend know it's you who is asking me to go? I still have a lot of work left to do and if they are not done, I might get in trouble. Alright. I will take care of it. Woosung grinned. Woosung took Young Jin-sup to a bar called Venetian. It was a Greek-themed place where the waitresses wore sexy togas. Young Jin-sup exclaimed, "This is awesome. I haven't been a good friend to you lately. I will do better." It's okay. You are busy. Oh, and Choi Gichul just texted me and he said he'll come. He might be a little late though. Good. Why don't we start without him then? Young Jin-sup drank heavily. He became red quickly and groped women constantly. Woosung watched in distaste while barely drinking himself. The only reason for arranging this meeting was to meet Choi Gichul. 2 a.m. Finally, Choi Gichul walked in. Woosung stood up and greeted him, long time no see. Choi Gichul frowned. Yes, President Kang. Behind Choi Gichul, Choi Taemin followed. Nice to see you again, President Kang. Gichul said there is a good party so I followed him. Woosung took his hand and laughed. Great. There was something I wanted to tell you too. Choi Taemin took a sip of his drink. I hope I'm not intruding. Not at all. I'm glad we get a chance to clear the air. I think there has been a misunderstanding between us. Choi Taemin laughed at the word misunderstanding. He replied, I heard you are getting ready for the battle. You hired every lawyer in the country. I need to protect myself. Choi Gichul drank silently. Last time, it seemed like Choi Gichul was Choi Jaitai's slave, but it appeared that Choi Taemin controlled him now. Choi Taemin placed his arm on Choi Gichul's shoulder. Choi Gichul flinched. Choi Taemin asked, so you wanted to talk to Gichul about Daeyoung? Yes, but now that you are here, we can all discuss this together. Alright. Go ahead. So firstly, we need to accept the situation. I understand your dilemma, Vice President. I'm not interested in playing the blaming game. Woosung ate a piece of sushi and continued, how many are you thinking? Choi Taemin took another sip of his whiskey and asked, I don't understand. What do you mean? Then I will have to be more specific. How many of Daeyoung's subsidiary companies? Young Jin-sup was sleeping. Choi Gichul glared at Woosung. Choi Taemin's face hardened. You are asking me for my company's subsidiaries. You want to take them? Do you have any other choice? Daeyoung's sales are declining fast. Daeyoung is fine. Come on, let's be realistic. Your stock price is plummeting. Your performance this quarter is awful. Just because you say it doesn't make it true. Woosung grinned mockingly. Sir, I am Kang Woosung. My words are always true. Woosung then suddenly turned serious. Choi Taemin swallowed. Choi Gichul kept sighing. Choi Taemin asked, I can't give you any. Can we come up with something else? Then. Woosung glanced at Choi Gichul. He suddenly thought of something. When Woosung hesitated, Choi Taemin encouraged him, as long as it's not something ridiculous, I will cooperate. Choi Taemin was desperate. After a few more seconds of pause, Woosung added, I want to create a foundation similar to FKI, Foundation of Korean Industries. I would like Choi Gichul to consign his Daeyoung shares to me in good faith so I can use them to make this foundation. This agency will provide a platform for the businessmen to negotiate and work out the differences before seeking the legal route. Woosung continued quickly, I will, of course, provide half of the necessary funds. I will be the CEO and Choi Gichul can be the vice president. When the Choi brothers looked confused, Woosung added, currently, FKI is useless. I want to make an agency that will work and benefit all the businessmen. It was not a bad deal, but consigning Choi Gichul's shares was concerning. Woosung explained further, Choi Gichul has 2% of Daeyoung Electronics and 15% of Daeyoung Life. I realize this is a big deal, but that is why it would be great. It would represent your trust in me and this idea. Choi Taemin asked nervously. That's it? I want Choi Gichul to be part of my team. That means I want you to get rid of his bodyguards. I want my bodyguards on him. The reason Choi Taemin knew of this meeting was because he had people watching Choi Gichul. Choi Taemin bit his lips. Choi Gichul looked at Woosung in surprise. Choi Gichul was like a prince imprisoned in the castle run by Choi Taemin. It appeared Woosung knew this situation. Woosung added quickly, this is a better deal than giving up your subsidiaries. Choi Taemin glared at Choi Gichul. He suspected this was Choi Gichul's doing, but Choi Gichul was innocent. He explained, Taemin, this wasn't my idea. I have been using only the cell phone you gave me, and I am monitored 24/7 by your bodyguards. How could I plan anything like this? Choi Taemin relaxed. It was true. Everything Choi Gichul did was reported to him. Suddenly, Choi Taemin remembered. Chun Jisoo. Jang Hyunho. Choi Taemin asked, and this will end the current troubles? Woosung nodded and replied, yes. I will drop the defamation lawsuit. I will also stop those annoying TV ads and make an official announcement that KND will not be moving its headquarters because we came to good terms with Daeyoung. Choi Taemin took another sip. What should he do? Why was Woosung interested in Choi Gichul? So many thoughts crossed his mind. But there is no proof. Choi Taemin decided quickly. He suspected Woosung knew about Choi Jae-tae and his father's recent demises. However, there was no proof. Testimony from Choi Gichul alone would never be enough in the court. He replied, all right. Let's do it. Woosung laughed. The Choi brothers couldn't understand why Woosung looked so happy. Woosung offered his hand to Choi Taemin. Haha, good deal. He also turned to Choi Gichul. I hope we work well together. Choi Gichul shook his hand. The next day. Everything promised was done quickly and efficiently. However, despite KND's effort, Daeyoung's controversy didn't die out. It certainly lessened, especially due to the Fukushima disaster, but the investigation by the prosecutors continued. Some from Daeyoung also ended up in jail. However, Chun Jisoo and Jang Hyunho remained safe. As expected, Choi Taemin wasn't even questioned. Woosung's reputation was golden. He was now known as the man who forgave his enemy. Red Angle's work in Japan also helped in promoting Woosung and his companies. The public saw Woosung as the hero. Blue's sales and the number of coconut users continued to increase. Many would have been happy with such a success, but Woosung remained hungry for more. He asked Choi Gichul, how is it going with our Korean business agency? We recently completed the purchase of an office and are in the process of hiring. Woosung asked in annoyance, couldn't you get things done faster? At this rate, we won't be able to start this year. Choi Gichul bit his lips and answered, yes, sir. I will try. Woosung had no intention of extracting any information from Choi Gichul. Woosung's only goal of this relationship was to stress Choi Gichul out. Just like Choi Gichul did to him in his previous life. Do you like this video? Let me know by giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on my future uploads.